Yo, 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 what is happening, people? Happy Tuesday. Very excited to be on here with you guys. Just making sure everything is flowing through smoothly. It looks like it is. So let's just rock and roll, shall we? I'll give folks a second to hop into the chat, get into the live stream. I know I did schedule this a little bit later than I was hoping to. But here's the cool thing. Oh, damn! Looks like the title is already out of date. We were at 71K earlier, and now we're down to 69. So yay, that's awesome. Okay, well, that's such is the nature of Bitcoin and crypto. But what's cool is we saw a heck of a lot of SPS burning the other day. We basically burned another 1 million tokens, and I don't know where that went. About 20 million tokens. I'm assuming it's the company, which oddly enough, shouldn't the company be buying DEC off the marketplace? I mean, we're 10% below peg. You would expect them, or 8.5% below peg. You would expect them to be doing that rather than, hold on 1 second. Rather than burning SPS. Again, I don't know if it's them, but I just see the company at 220 million, and I know anytime it goes below 200 million, they like to burn. But you know what? SPS is also low right now, so maybe that just makes more sense for them to do. We're burning more SPS through it. I mean, 1 million SPS is not an insignificant amount. Let's see what else we got here. So looking across the board, okay, we're seeing a little bit of coolness in the market. Bitcoin was at 71K, jumped from 64 to 71 yesterday, which is fantastic. Hive is above 40 cents again, which is always very nice to see. Vouchers at 4 cents. SPS struggling, man. The struggle is real. And you know what's interesting? I'm starting to become a believer. I'm starting to become a believer in the thesis that SPS is going to hit 1 cent. So I know I'm not trying to be Papa Bear. In fact, I think I told you guys, I've spoken with other people who are so incredibly bullish on the game. They own so many assets. They're super excited and they're continuing to buy stuff. And they still believe SPS is going to hit 1 cent. So, with where the rest of the market is going, with the lack of any kind of movement we've seen in SPS, and more importantly, with like Bitcoin pumps and the rest of the market follows, SPS does not, which again just goes to show how uncorrelated we are or decoupled we are. So it really just comes down to, when is the team going to deliver items that are actually driving demand to SPS? And it's gonna be a bit. Now that the SoulKeep could be a wrench in the plans, right? SoulKeep could be a fantastic wrench in the plans. But we have the upcoming player experience, the reward rework, which I think should be fun and fantastic. And I'm looking forward to that from a gaming perspective. But I don't think that does anything for SPS. And then beyond that, we know that they're still working on other new player experience items, right? Such as the one-click set rentals. That doesn't do anything for SPS. And then of course the onboarding tutorials. That doesn't do anything for SPS. So check this. Let's assume they're almost done with all that stuff, okay? And let's say they're going at blazing speed for the rest of the new player experience. That would mean that we would get let me pull up my calendar here. That would mean we get the new player experience, the reward rework on the 2nd of April, right? Then we would get maybe one-click set rentals on the 16th of April, and then we get the onboarding experience at the end of April. So that's all of April, right? And again, all of that is new player experience. That's not necessarily something that's going to drive value to SPS or demand to SPS. The other thing that's also in the mix, land related, is the grain LP, which is just grain and DEC. So maybe we see some SPS burning from that, but DEC is still well below peg. And I don't think that there's a demand for grain at this point. I think people have all become very, very self-sufficient. So until we get 2.0 out into the mix with all of those different LPs, I'm thinking that neither of those is going to be a big demand driver for SPS. So we're already done with April, right? We're already done with April, and this is the team releasing at blazing speed. So that puts us post halving, right? That puts us in May, at which point we don't really know what else is coming next. We know that the team wants to do some marketing, but they don't want to do that until everything is done, right? So the earliest we could see things coming in. Oh, you know what I did forget? I forgot the promo event. So that's going to be another potential one. Again, is that going to burn as much as we're hoping? Probably not, and it's actually failing right now. So this would mean that the revenue would just go to the team, and then the team would cycle that back into the economy. So people would just be buying DEC, and then DEC would be making its way back in. Maybe we burn some SPS for that. Hopefully we do. But keep in mind, the team only burns SPS for DEC when they start running low on DEC. And if they're going to do this promo card, which, whether you like it or not, there's going to be some people that buy the promo card. That means the team's going to be loaded up on DEC for a bit. So even they will not be buying SPS because they'll have an excess of DEC that they need to cycle back into the market. So they won't be a net buyer of SPS for a while. So something to think about. Just, interesting. Okay. Beyond that, what else? Yeah. So that puts us, okay. So that, I think that covers everything through April, right? And we're even pulling things up. Beyond that, I would think that they'd have to do some significant marketing. Obviously, the Killer Whales thing was not at all what we expected. For people who are unfamiliar, I haven't even watched it yet, but it wasn't on Apple TV Plus. It was just on Apple TV, meaning you still had to pay for it. And I don't remember the last time I paid for any kind of digital media. So, I was hoping that it would be like a Netflix style thing where it just goes out and like everybody is able to watch it for free, but you still have to pay for it. So I wouldn't expect there to be any kind of thing coming, and we really didn't see that. So that puts us in April. That puts us in May before anything can actually start to happen for SPS, right? This is regardless of what's going on with the rest of the market. Bitcoin could hit 100K, but I think SPS would still, we'd probably bump up a little bit, but I don't think we'd be pacing with the rest of the market because we haven't been pacing with the rest of the market. So again, I'm not trying to be bearish here. I'm hopeful that we don't hit the 1 cent thing, right? I was being a little Papa Bear earlier, even though I'm talking with all these people who are, whales in the game, who are absolutely bullish and calling for a 1 cent SPS. It's just people like to sell SPS because it's literally the reward token, right? So we just get it as much as possible. We're minting way too much of it, and there's too much of it out there. So in that time frame, I think we actually go down over the next month, maybe even month and a half. I think mid-May might be the earliest we start to see any kind of like marketing. And again, this assumes everything gets done by the end of April, right? Everything gets done by the end of April. And I'm not talking about land stuff because like land 1.6, that's going to take forever. And, none of that is actually going to help. None of that, in my opinion, is going to help the SPS price token. It'll be fun for landowners, right? You'll get the titles, and that'll be pretty cool. But I don't think that's going to drive demand to SPS. I don't think that's going to drive people to do more with their land than they are doing now. That's going to be a land 2.0 thing. And considering 1.6 is really only getting started in Q2, my expectation for land 1.6 was that based on the list that they gave us, if they would give us one per month, it would take 6 months. I was hoping they'd start at the beginning of the year. They're starting in Q2. So now any type of land, 2.0 release probably gets pushed to Q4 at the earliest. And that would only be like beginner bare bones stuff. I'm still hoping for infinite staking whenever that does go live. But at this point, I'm hoping that we can get that this year. But in terms of like having everything for land, I think that's a 2025 thing. So yeah, that's where we're at. Now, I'm being super optimistic here, as much as it doesn't sound like it. I'm being super optimistic here because I'm expecting all the new player experience stuff to be done by the end of April. If you heard, and we don't have an updated time frame on this, but Matt, in a lot of his kind of like just general estimations, was saying that he wants to ramp up marketing in the second half of the year, meaning that he's giving the team, at least previously, was giving the team till the end of June. So again, I'm saying to you guys that'd be awesome if we got everything done by the end of April. But Matt's, giving the team an additional 2 months, which means land 1.6, new player experience, one-click set rentals, and onboarding. If that all gets pushed to June, then the earliest we see any kind of marketing for the game, any kind of push for the SPS token, is July. Right? Again, the only wild card in here is SoulKeep. I don't even think the Genesis League, or not Genesis League, but Arcade Colony airdrop will do much. I think if Arcade Colony does take off, maybe you get some of that filter over here. But Arcade Colony is still an unproven thing. So I need you guys all to wrap your head around that. Okay. It's going to be 3 months of brutal pain watching the rest of the market go up while SPS bleeds down a little bit more. Just be ready for it. Just be ready for it. Am I selling? No, I'm not. But I'm just trying to wrap your heads around what to expect, given that we've become very decoupled from the rest of the market. Okay? Like Bitcoin is about to literally hit, not about to, but 71K is pretty close to getting a new all-time high, right? And we're struggling to keep 2 cents here. So as the rest of the market takes off, I expect a lot of liquidity to jump into a lot of projects that are pumping. But for Splinterlands, if we are truly decoupled from the market, which again, there's slight correlation, right? Bitcoin went to 71K. We went from 2 cents to 2.1, right? I would say July. July is my expectation of really the earliest things could come in. In a perfect world, maybe we get it in May, end of May, right? But given Matt's time frame, I want you guys just to think about that. At the very least, the earliest we see any kind of movement or demand for SPS is May, right? End of May. But if you go with Matt's time frame, that's really going to be sometime in July. So it's gonna be 3 more months of salt, 3 more months of complaining and whining and everything else that comes along with it. So I hope you guys are at least strapped in and mentally and emotionally prepared for that. But hopefully the bull run is long. I say this not because I'm just trying to throw shade or throw salt, whatever. I'm just trying to prep you guys for it. Again, nothing in my fundamental thesis about Splinterlands is changing. I'm not selling. I'm continuing to accumulate by playing and providing LPs and node licenses. And I do believe that the bull market will have some legs. I don't know if it'll be as long as previous ones, but I don't think usually the impact of the halving takes a little while to feel. And so I genuinely believe the summer is going to be a fun time just because we had DeFi summer in 2020, but I don't think that's going to be the end of the bull run. I think we hopefully get another exciting Q4, which really then, lines up well with where the team is at from a release standpoint and hopefully from a marketing standpoint. If they want to start marketing in the second half of the year, they're going to need to hit it hard. They're going to need to hit it fast. There's going to be a lot of catch up that they'll need to do so that we can actually have a Q4 that is worth talking about. But again, that's 6 to 9 months away. I'm telling you right now, the next 3 months are going to be brutal. They're going to be so rough. And if you thought it was rough already, you ain't seen nothing yet. Okay. All right, let's jump into the chat. All right, here we go. Brian's in the house. Virus is here. Let's go, Virus. What's up? Icy Flow, Liberty Guy. Hello. We got Gathering the Magic, Yvonne. I just saw it free online. Yeah, you saw it free online because you were looking for it. I know that it's available somewhere. But here's the thing, right? That does nothing for us. What we want is for a random person who's looking for crypto content that already has a subscription somewhere can just watch it, as part of their subscription, or if it was just free in general. I know there was a YouTube link floating around, which I still haven't watched yet. So sorry about that. But yeah, it'll be what it'll be. Icy Flow says, I talked to Matt about changing the reward system to 12 wins unlimited play. Not sure he fully understands what I was telling him. Tell him to check out Parallel because they're doing it really well with the 5 wins. Rooney says, you can watch Killer Whales for free, but need to do some work. I was given just a YouTube link. I wonder if it's still live. Liberty says, I will not be participating in the promo event. I was really hoping we could burn cards. Yikes. Yeah. You know what's kind of sad about this is just like, I feel like the community, like so many people in the community are just done. Like so many people are just done. The amount of people I see like threatening to quit every day or wanting to sell off or whatever. I don't know. So I think there's going to be a lot of roadblocks that the team will have to overcome, a lot of hurdles that they have to overcome. I hope that the event is still successful, but I like you, I don't think a lot of people are going to participate. I mean, everybody's already calling this Zerial 2.0. So, I hope the team is able to get what they need out of it. I hope it brings some cool cards into the mix. But yeah, it's not the event I think we were all hoping for. So Rooney says, new player marketing is probably not an effective use of corporate funds. Team really needs to prove SPS price, which will auto attract new players. That's what I say too. We need a green candle, and until we can show that, here's the thing, it's even worse now because every other game is going up. So like literally everybody over the past 3 years who's been calling Splinterlands a dead game, they are vindicated. Right? They are vindicated. All the people who sold out, right, when SPS was at 2 cents and they bought Gala, they're up 3-4x, right? They bought Illuvium, they're up. They bought all these other things. Hang on one second. Hell, I mean, I was talking with Darkest Night because one of my biggest L's so far this bull run has been Prime. And here's the thing, I'm doing really well on Prime. Okay, thankfully, like I still got it at a decent time, but I remember having a conversation with him, which he just reminded me of. Darkest Night. So I remember having a conversation with him back in October, saying that I wanted to sell 1/5 of my SPS. I was considering selling 1/5 of my SPS, which is about 50K at the time, divesting out of Splinterlands and buying Prime when Prime was $2. It's now $24 or $23. That would have been the move. So I got to sit with that. Now I still was able to, put other. I didn't sell any SPS because again, I didn't want to, but I was able to put other funds in before it like started its massive run up. But I agree with you fully. SPS going up, green candle for SPS is the best marketing that they can do. Tomas, what's going on? All right, so the team can't just improve the price. SPS needs to stop being given out before the price will significantly go up. So here's the thing. They can. Okay, so I want to... Going back to like Rooney's comment, I do believe that there is an opportunity to do it without like, manipulating the price somehow. Because here's the thing, there's too much out there and there's too much being given out. But that problem gets solved by new players coming in, right? I don't know what the math is. Let's run the math and see this real quick. How much we have? Like 1.2 billion SPS. All right, so 1,222,000. Oh my gosh. Okay. Times 10. Okay, now this is 1.2 billion. Let's just divide that by 10,000 SPS, right? What does that get us to? That gets us to 120,000 players. I mean, that sounds ridiculous, right? But when you consider the fact that the game has 30-ish thousand daily active users, if you think about it this way, in order to earn significant rewards, if you needed 10,000 SPS, which most people don't, right? And you can get away with like renting it too. But whether they're renting or buying, if you're able to get 120,000 active accounts, which includes bots, right? Then you'll soak up way more SPS, and SPS will become very scarce in that sense. Now, we could probably do it with less than 120,000 accounts. I think even just getting 10 to 15,000 real players who want more than 10,000 SPS, right, to come in could do it. And so therefore, the marketing efforts of the team to fix up NPE and then to go after, players is probably a viable option. Is it the best option? I don't know, but it's a viable option. But if you can't get new players, and I think that is the real question here, if you cannot get new players because the game is just not competitive compared to other games from a gameplay perspective, right? If you cannot do it, then the only other way is to, as you said, reduce emissions, reduce the amount out there. We as a community need to overcome, this kind of insurmountable whatever, to get the price going up, right? And so this is where I get a little skeptical in the short to medium term. And I think to myself, okay, if Rebellion and Land 1.5, which ate up billions of DEC, okay, understand that. Land is sitting at 1.5 billion DEC. The DAO is sitting at almost 2 billion DEC, right? Some of that maybe was from Rift Watchers. But if Land and a core set release eating up 2 to 3 billion DEC pushed us only to 3.5 cents, my God, what would it take to push us up to 5-10 cents? Right? Like, again, it's just, that's what it is. So, being realistic here, I think we move with the market, right? I do think we move with the market when there's a bull run. And that's why I don't do price predictions, but I've put this number out there before, so I'll put it out there again. It's just a hope, right? It's not a prediction, but my hope is that if there's a blow off top, we at least hit 10 cents, right? So 5x from here. Anybody thinking, we're doing 20, 50x, right? People, throwing $1 out there this bull run. I mean, something dramatic, absolutely dramatic would absolutely need to happen. And the competitive landscape is so different. In 2021, we were facing Axie and like crypto blades, right? Like that was it. I can't remember like my DeFi and a bunch of other promises, right? In terms of like games that were actually live, it was like Axie, some other like random weird stuff. Like, so now it's different. Now that capital, they have somewhere else to go. And so I'm looking at this long term, right? So I'm assuming that we stick around with probably 3,000 players for the next 4 years, and then we could do it then, right? Over that time frame. But the problem is, and I think you're seeing it now, out of those 3,000 players, you're going to lose a significant chunk more because they're going to see the gains happening elsewhere, right? Your Mondroids, your viruses, your folks who like love the game for the game itself, and will stick around, through thick and thin. I mean, they'll be around in 4 years, right? And they'll be waiting for the next one. I'll be here, right? Waiting for the next set and playing through. But a lot of the folks that were hoping to either recover what they lost or hoping to chase some gains, I think they'll be looking elsewhere for the gains. So this is now becoming, and it's tough for me too, but this is becoming a like multi-cycle project, right? Where I'm looking at this and thinking to myself, they lost the lead. And it's now going to be, they lost the lead and we need to get through the distribution phase. The distribution phase goes for 5 years, of which we started several things a year late, right? So 6.5 years at that point. So that means this cycle, unless something absolutely amazingly catastrophic happens with the player base that we have, I don't think we eat through it. I think it'll be a slow burn and grind. And then 2027, 2028 cycle, we'll see some fun. But until then, it's gonna be a lot of salt. All right, so Liberty says someone posted the 8-minute section of Agia Killer Whales. Here's the YouTube link. Yep. I need to watch it. I just haven't. Gathering says keep filling your bag slow and steady. I'm in no rush. Icy Flow, I like that idea a lot. Talk more to him. Maybe you guys can help convince him. I was thinking about making a proposal. I mean, that's not a bad idea. But I'm not against it, right? I think I've seen it very successful for Parallel, and I think that we should be stealing ideas from other games that are very successful. No doubt. So, I just feel like they went through the ranked experience and the reward experience, that this doesn't seem like a 2024 thing. right? I think that once they're done with this, they're going to want to move on to their marketing and land and all that stuff. And my guess is that if they wanted to make further changes to ranked, as good as they are, right, the amount of resources they would need to dedicate and therefore put off land 2.0, put off land 1.6, put off guild buildings and tournaments and any other things that they have planned. My guess would be that they decide to push that off, and we see that 2025, 2026. But hey, I mean, it doesn't hurt to put a proposal. It's just you'll be out 100k DEC. What's up, Skyer? Good to see you here. All right, so Yvonne says, when Parallel on Mac? You know, I'm not sure, but I don't know. But I'm more excited for Parallel on mobile. I'm hoping that actually comes sooner rather than later, because I only have a desktop that it's on, and I want to be able to play on the road. So Skyer says, sup people. Ghosty BG says, I'm not done. Neither am I. I just want them to price their promos according to the market sentiment. Yeah. Agreed. Liberty Guy promo is way too expensive. Well, you know, I mean, it's like he was trying to copy the Bitcoin halving thing, right? So it's like $31, 31.25, something like that. So increasing bots in Wild is the most effective to increase SPS. Many people hate this also, hate making money the easy way. SPL people love to struggle and take on this challenge directly. I mean, nobody's stopping people from putting bots in Wild, Rooney. I know you're very pro bot. This is kind of a cheap shot, in my opinion, at Splinterlands players. But I would accept this. I would accept this criticism of Splinterlands players if they decided to actually pass a bot ban in Wild, which I'm not in favor of. I mean, I think that there should be a decentralized area in which people can play. And right now that's Wild. So I know that there's a lot of people who are on the other side of that fence, but at this point in time, I am not, I would not be planning to vote for a ban in Wild. I would just say, do things to make Modern better. And actually, to Matt's point, he is, I thought it was like great decisive action, right? Because he's always been more on the decentralized side. So I thought it was great for him to bring Siler on board to try and actually tackle the Modern battle and bot helper thing. And then on top of that, giving 50% more reward shares. Oh, that's going to get me out of Wild, right? Because the only reason I went to Wild is that my bot made champ, which is crazy. My bot made champ in Wild, which is fantastic, but that's just due to ratings inflation. But as you can tell, like, I can't make champ in Modern. So for me, it's not about the SPS. I'm fine on that. I want to get more reward shares for the rewards when they pop up. So yeah, that's just where I'm at. All right. So Cimarron says there are also people playing the long game. I'm playing the 5 to 10 tier game and still here. Yeah, and that's the tough part. I think that's the tough pill that people are going to have to swallow. Right, the distribution phase. Being 5.5 years and then getting extended out to 6.5 years because, you know, many of the pools were actually started a year later. Unless we make major changes to the white paper, which I've been surprised people have been okay with the LP stuff because generally there's been a lot of folks who are a lot of high net worth or high, like, you know, large whales in the ecosystem that are impacted by that. But, they got voted out, which is the crazy thing, right? Because like, imagine you have so much SPS, like you have maybe, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of SPS or tens of thousands of dollars worth of SPS sitting in a liquidity pool. You can't vote with it. You know what I mean? Like you can't use it to vote, which is interesting to think about. Right? You have to have it staked in game. So you could be like a big supporter of the game, providing liquidity, but you actually have no say in the direction of what happens. I don't know. Something about that is off to me, but you know, that's just the nature of the beast. So gathering, all right. So Simran says, if you think SPS goes to 10 cents, what do you think it returns to after the bull? I don't know. I mean, maybe where we are now. And again, 10 cents, I'm just putting 10 cents out there because that's a hope and a dream for me. I would love to see a 10 cent SPS. even if that ends up being the blow off top. My thought process is we're not slowing down any of the inflation anytime soon, right? So, for example, guild brawls, validator nodes, ranked battles. There's one more, land. Like all that stuff came in, or even tower defense, right? All that stuff came in a year plus later. So we're a year and a half into a 5.5 year distribution, meaning we actually still have 4 years remaining. Okay. So all those distribution pools, they will end in 2028. Around this time, 2028, or like early 2028. So, and I don't think anybody's going to take those down, right? I know there's been talk about like doing a SPS halving, but again, I'm not opposed to an SPS halving, but that doesn't solve the problem of there's too much SPS in the marketplace right now. If you do a halving, you reduce people's earnings further because the market's already flooded with SPS. And I think you'll drive more people away potentially. Again, I'm not opposed to it, but I'm just saying, like, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if all of a sudden you're just like, you get a bunch of people that decide that they want to leave. My overall is any competitive game solving the blockchain RNG problem, which is why I stopped playing. Yeah, you know what? I mean, look, RNG is nobody's friend, really. It's your friend when it works, and when it's not, whatever. But that's part of the reason why I've really enjoyed Parallel, because obviously there's RNG factors to it, but I can swallow that pill a little bit more. Obviously, I get bad draws on, you know, first 5 cards or whatever, but I just feel like I have much more control in the game. The Auto Battler TCG, or sorry, Auto Battler RNG thing. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's great when it's on your side, but it's also so frustrating. And again, I still love the game. I know people are already thinking that I'm salty here. See, Skyer's thinking that I'm salty. I wouldn't say that I'm salty. I'm so excited, Skyer. I'm so excited for the upcoming reward work. I don't know how else to say it. I have actually given up earnings. Understand this. I have given up earnings. I'm earning less SPS per game because I want more reward shares per game, right? Something that is not quantified, or glints, we'll call them. I want more glint per game. So, yeah, I mean, sure, you can call me salty. You know, salty is probably not the right word. Bearish may be more accurate. Because I'm definitely a little bit more bearish on SPS in the short to medium term for this cycle. I think that we're definitely going to have struggles, and I'm just trying to prime everybody. Sorry, pun was not intended there, but I'm just trying to prime everybody and prepare them for what we're seeing ahead. Okay, so you tell me. I'm just giving you my perspective. So if you see other areas in which you can provide tangible things, not just number go up and it's going to be a bull run and people are going to get crazy. I admit that can totally happen. But if you give me tangible things in the next 3 to 4 months that you say this is going to be a severe or crazy significant demand driver for SPS, I'm open to hearing it. But I just laid out everything, right? I don't know if you were here for all of that, but I laid out everything. Grain LP, new player experience, which includes the reward rework, which includes one-click set rentals, and which includes the kind of like onboarding tutorial. Even if you go further with Land 1.6, with the titles, though, that's 5 releases. That's 5 major releases. We get 2 releases per month. Okay, so let's assume they knock it out of the park every single release for the next 5 weeks. All right, actually, it's more than 2. It's more than 2 releases. Like April, for example, has 3 releases, but that's 5 releases. So let's do that over 10 weeks. All right, 2.5 months. So between now and, as I was saying earlier, right? So April's 1 month, May's the next month. So mid-June. All right, let's go with that. With mid-June, of those 5 things, is there anything that I'm missing? Also, sorry, there's the promo event, of which you have a bunch of people commenting here that they're not planning on participating. Also, it's not going to burn anything, right? All of this is just going to be revenue to the team in the form of DEC, which gets cycled back into the marketplace. So, again, I'm not trying to be bearish. I've just given you 6 things over the next however many weeks, right? 10 weeks. Name, like, just point to one of those and say, like, that's going to push SPS up to 3 cents or 4 cents. And the reason I'm going so hard on this is because I've given you the evidence already, saying that the Rebellion launch and Land 1.5, which produce or required, anywhere from 2 to 3 billion DEC, that pushed us up to 3.5 cents. I don't see anything in the next 10 weeks that's gonna not provide, but that's gonna require 2 billion DEC. So, again, just trying to be realistic here. Not trying to be salty, not trying to be bearish. I'm just trying to be realistic. That's all it is. I'm totally open. If you have a better perspective or a different perspective, please do let me know, because I want to be bullish. I do. I'm having so much fun this bull run, right? These streams where I talk to everybody else who's upset about split ends. This is like the most bearish that I get. But everything else, like my portfolio is doing fantastic, thankfully, right? It's just split lenses. I'm here for the game at this point. Which again, I do love. All right, so Zerial is going for $40. Isn't that what it cost? In hindsight, accurately priced. That's a good call out, BC. But here's the thing: what's that called? Zerial was definitely buffed up with the launch of Rebellion, because they changed the way that Weapons Trainer worked. So Lapsa says bots extract money. There's no way increasing bots will benefit the total player base. Brian says, hi, after sound, where can I buy some parallel NFT card packs? Sounds like a lot of gas fees if you buy 40 cards deck one by one. So I'm doing everything on base, right? So the most I've paid for a gas fee so far has been 3 cents. But again, that's a layer or two of ETH. People have been asking me for more like tutorial content on parallel. So I will actually work on that today. If you buy single cards off the marketplace, you'll do okay, but I think you actually come out ahead if you just get one of the starter decks and then supplement from there. So that's what I did when ETH was down to $32, $31, whatever it was. I think it was like $32. I bought a starter deck because it's 0.01 ETH, and I bought it's on base, right? So I think I paid like 3 cents in gas, and so I bought it for $32, and then there were a couple other cards. Like the starter deck only came with like 2 of a certain card, and you could play 3 commons, for example. And then there were these 2 other cards the one other card that I wanted two copies of, just because I was going up against so many of these other like aggro decks. So if you're familiar with like Markolian or Cathari, so I bought the unstable something that like destroys everybody or does 2 damage to everybody at the start of your turn. So I needed those, and that's actually been super helpful. Got me a ton of wins so far. But I would highly recommend the starter deck. And the thing is, I've already ROI'd. Like I paid $35 maybe in total for my cards. I'm looking right now. I'm sitting on over 2 Prime, which is like $40 something. So I'm actually going to take that Prime and roll it into another starter deck. I don't know which one yet, but I'm planning on buying a starter deck or a second starter deck, just because I want to play more. It's either that or I roll it into other cards, which are actually on Ethereum, but I don't want to buy any new cards because their expansion's set to come out later this year, Planetfall, and I think that's just going to change the meta completely, and I just go buy a bunch of cards from that. Right now, a lot of the top top cards, we'll call them, like legendary or uncommon or rares, I think is what they're called. They don't have epics, right? So their rares are epics. But a lot of those are sitting on ETH mainnet, and they cost a lot of money, and then you got to pay a lot in gas. So I'm kind of happy just farming in bronze, right? I'm pulling in, I don't know, half a Prime a day or so, which is like $10-12. And I'm cool just chilling, doing this literally for the next couple of months until Planetfall comes out. And I don't know when that does. But that's kind of where my head is at for parallel right now. All right, so Lapsa says, how about rebranding Splinterlands as a new game, banning bots in Wild, and maybe doing that in a different, more popular chain? I mean, I'm not opposed to moving chains, but I don't think that the team is in a position to really do that or focus on that right now. I don't know how you would rebrand Splinterlands as a new game, but I'm down for whatever. Banning bots in Wild, I don't know how that's gonna go, but it is what it is. Almia, what's up? Oh, it is push and shove day. Where's the price of it? Oh, we should go check that out. Hold up. Oh, you know what? I have it here. Oh, we have the token address too? Okay, hold up. Yeah, it is. You know, I didn't even check my wallet to see if I had gotten my airdrop yet. Okay, hold up. I've read the terms. Start now. Wait, what are you doing? No. Hold up. I want to do this. I don't know what I'm agreeing to. Okay, hold on. I'm actually going to disconnect my wallet too. Let's switch this over to the BNB chain. And let's go to swap. Let me copy in the token address. And let's see if we can find it. Announcements. All airdrops have been sent out. More LP to be added. Smart contract. Man, is General going crazy right now? Okay, you know what? Hold on. People are going nuts. All right, so here's smart contract ownership has been renounced, which means no one can make any changes to the coin anymore. That's cool. What a crazy launch. A lot has happened for sure. Okay, hold up. We can go to BSC scan later. What I want to do is just pull in this token and see where it's at. Yes. Oh my gosh. We have it. It's the penis token. I don't even know what this is valued at right now. So let's go USDT. So how much is one penis worth? Fascinating. Oh, this is fantastic. Hold up. I want to see. I'm going to check on my private wallet on my phone. Hold up. Because I just don't want to reveal anything. All right. You know, hold on. I'll do it later. Let me catch up on chat a little bit more. But hey, we're live, guys. We are live. I want to be able to see. Oh, damn. Look at that price impact for just a 17-cent transaction. Yikes. Make it $1. Oh my goodness. Where is how can we view this from an exchange standpoint? Or do I have to connect my wallet? All right, screw it. We can connect. Switch. I have 713,000. Look at that. It's there, baby. So it's worth $50. Let's go. But if I were to sell this, oh my gosh, look at that price impact. I would drive this thing down to the floor. It's all good. We're holding forever. That is fantastic. Okay. Well, congrats to the push and shove community. Very excited to see where this goes. Now is when the fun part starts. Now it's time to go market. All right, tails. Let's see. Not too few SPS, too few players for the existing SPS. Gala does not seem to have our token pricing problem. I think you meant not too many SPS, but yeah, I agree. So need a new term. How about meh market? Yeah, I guess so. No, the market's doing fantastic. I don't know what you're talking about. Market is Bitcoin's like not too far from an all-time high again. We're within striking distance. I mean, we're definitely in a bull run now. Look at that. We're back above 70K. Let's go. All right. So Simran says, I'm okay with and understand RNG. I did a post on it over a year ago. The blockchain makes streaky, which is not RNG. When you have RNG repeatable, it will be validated. It's not random. Interesting. Okay. I can buy started from OpenSea. No, you buy directly from their website. So here, let me show you, Brian. If I go to Here. Oh, perfect. Parallel.life. So you just go here, right? You go to shop. Wallet, right? And then it shows that this is on Base. It's on Base on ETH, not Base, but Base on ETH. You connect your wallet, and each of these are only 0.01. So I'm not going to connect my wallet here because I don't. This is not the wallet that I have for the game. That's on a different computer. But yeah, they're all 0.01. They come with pretty good stuff. So like I have the Markolian deck. Like I said, the only thing that I really changed here, for example, like I only got 2 of these heavy what is this called? Heavy weapons team. So I bought another one. It was like 50 cents plus 2-cent gas fee on Base. And then and then I didn't get the other cards. The other card that I wanted was I think it's Unstable Shield Generator, which I think is in the Shroud one. Yeah. So see, this comes with 3. So it'd be kind of like what I should have done is I should have just bought the Shroud one, right? Because I went and I bought these. These were like 50 cents each on the marketplace. So I bought 2 of them. But had I just bought the Shroud starter deck, I would have gotten 3, which would have been perfect. Now, I think I still want to buy the Shroud starter deck because I want these guys. I think they can make a Markolian deck even more fast, which would be fun. But I should really finish up the Shroud rookie missions because that's the only one that I haven't done. If I buy another one, I think it's probably going to be Cathari or Earthen. Because I run into Cathari a lot. But at the same time, I'm having so much fun playing Markolian. I just beat a Cathari deck, which had a much better start than I did, but I was able to overrun them. So I'm just having fun, man. It's such a solid game. It takes me back to MTG days. So like Splinterlands, from a conceptual standpoint, like, owning NFTs and all that, that brought me back because I was like, oh yeah, this is like owning digital cards. I could reconcile that. But from a gameplay perspective, Parallel is much closer. All right, so I might have to check out Parallel videos you have. I have $50 in ETH sitting because anyway, I've tried to move it. I lose too much. Well, you would have to transfer this over to Base. So I don't know what the gas fees for that are, but I don't think that they'd be pretty. 3 formats. Wild, Modern, Bot would be ideal. I wouldn't mind a 3rd format. I think Matt's even open to it. It's just that he said they need to get player liquidity up first, which means bringing new players in. But I think a 3rd format is inevitable. Lapsus says, how the Apple TV already released the Splinterlands episode? I haven't seen any more traffic. Was it a dud? Excuse me. Yeah, no, it's out. Have they released it? Yes, they have. I don't know if you missed my comment earlier. The thing is, it's not on Apple TV Plus. So it's just on Apple TV, meaning it's on Amazon too, I think, right? But meaning you need to buy it. So you need to spend $3 to watch the episode. And like I said, I don't know about other folks, but I can't remember the last time I spent any money on buying or renting digital media. I already have a bunch of subscriptions, so I just watch what's there. I was under the impression it was going to be on Apple TV Plus, but it is not. I thought it would be more like a Netflix type of situation where your casual person just looking for like fun, interesting content, maybe crypto savvy or crypto native, could just stumble upon it and watch it for free. But that is unfortunately not the case. You still need to buy it. And I can't imagine a random person going out there, seeing a specific episode of a show about crypto gaming and being like, you know what? I'm going to spend $3 today and buy this and watch it. I've never heard about any of these games or whatever, right? Maybe. You might have had some folks, but I don't know. Not the masses. Leandro, what's going on? Almiel says, okay, almost completed selling my cards. Buying only Colony for now. I may buy some SPS as well shortly after that. Yep, I grabbed a little bit more Colony today. I mean, I'm actually a seller of SPS right now. I've been swapping a good amount of SPS. Anything that I have liquid, I sell that for Colony. I am, let's put it this way. Since we were just talking about how bearish we are for Splinterlands, or how bearish I am for SPS in the short to medium term, I'm actually the opposite for Arcade Colony. I think if there's a project that can pump this time period, or this whatever, it would be Colony. So Again, that's not financial advice, but that's what I've been doing. So, and if Colony hits 10 cents, then the initial Colony I bought would do 100x. So that'd be kind of awesome. Because I grabbed it when it was under 0.0001 or something, or 001 or something like that. Cathari is really fun, says Leandro. The order you choose to play cards and attack is really interesting. Yeah, I always have, like, whenever I play Cathari, I get nervous because that Paragon is so good too. I forgot what his name is, Ganaeus or something. Because every time you attack and do damage, everybody gets +1/+1. It's so unfair. And then you just keep throwing clones into the mix, and it gets crazy. So I feel like the two, fun, well, I shouldn't say fun, but like the two speed decks are probably Markolian and Cathari. And so it's always a battle whenever I'm playing them. Like I said, I just had a good solid win against Cathari earlier today, which I was very, very happy about. Anywhere we can see the market cap of Colony? Probably on the website, right? I don't even know if I have it open, but yeah, probably if you go to the website. Let's just do it this way, though. I mean, there's what? No more than 250 million tokens available? I think, yeah, we'll just say that, right? Again, we're just going with something super rough here. So 0.00146 times 250 million. The market cap is 365,000. Okay, so market cap is 365,000. If this project were to do something similar to Splinterlands, and Colony were to reach the same level as SPS, 26 million. I mean, that would be not 100x, but that'd be pretty damn close. Let's see, 26,039 divided by 356. It'd be a 73x from here. So if you understand now why people are aping into Colony, maybe that helps. I'm not aping in. I literally swapped like $3 worth of SPS this morning that I had liquid. So it's not like anything crazy is going on. But I am a big believer in Aggie's vision for what he's trying to do with the platform. The fact that he has not just one but two games that seem like they're on the docket is exciting to me. The only thing, in my opinion, which again, the track record is not fantastic for this. The only risk, in my opinion, when it comes to Colony and the Arcade Colony platform is execution or lack thereof. And like I said, the track record is not fantastic for that. But I have GLX staked that I got from staking SPS. I have SPS staked. So I'm excited about just earning a small drip of Colony over time. I mean, I have a small bag now from the fork, which is good. I'll sell random things here. Well, not random things. I'll sell SPS specifically and grab that. But yeah, that's where my head is now. Short term. Long term. So here's the thing. Before people like jump on me about this, long term, I need to see what the sinks look like for Colony, and if the economy design is as good as something like Splinterlands, right? Once it reaches some level of maturity, because at this point, I'm still thinking, long-term SPS has much more potential just because it has so much more infrastructure built around it. But Aggie's doing a good job in terms of outsourcing a lot of this stuff. And that's not a knock on the team, but it allows them to scale much faster, right? That was the whole premise of the platform. So like I said, you have two projects already in the mix that they're starting to tease some things for, which are completely different, right? One's a racing game and one is a casino thing. So just imagine, just imagine what this looks like in a year from now, if they can get maybe one or two more projects on board. I'd love to see almost like if somebody can do like a first person shooter or a third person shooter. And again, it doesn't need to be something fancy, right? I'm thinking or not even that. Like, what was that game? Spider Tanks, was that the one on Gala? Like, you could just do clones of all these different games, come in, have it be, have it just operate in a cool play to earn model in a game economy where you're not the only game, right? So the platform has so many other things going for it. The pressure isn't as high. Yeah, I really buy into the vision of what Aggie's doing. Again, the biggest risk, and this is not a small thing, the biggest risk is execution. And his, execution on Splinterlands, just, it was good. It was okay. But I don't know how much of that, like, I don't know how much of that was just like internal struggle. You know what I mean? Like, obviously Matt and Aggie had kind of differing visions. And so my hope is that now that, Matt's free to do his thing, Splinterlands is doing good. And once Aggie's free to do his thing, whatever he's working on can do good. That's kind of my hope, right? You take the constraints away, you take the tug of war away, and they can both kind of flourish in their respective ecosystems now. Looks like I need a bag. Yeah. All right. So Almiel says, I'm super bullish on Colony targeting 15x, but once Colony airdrop happened for SPS holders, then SPS is a good buy as well. Yeah. I mean, it's not, again, like I'm getting a ton of, not a ton, but I'm getting enough SPS per day just from rewards and stuff. So I'm good with it for now. I don't mind trading a lot of it for Colony. Plus, I am way more bullish on something like Moon Carts hitting a high player base. I think that there's way more of an opportunity for casual players to come in and actually have a good time. So I don't know what the long-term plans for the game are, but I do believe that, like, it's much more skill-based rather than just like, oh, I own the entire collection. Granted, it's probably going to be something where when you play in Arcade Colony, if you have a maxed out racer, then you're probably going to be going way, way faster, right, than other cars. And so it probably will be very difficult to win if you just have like a starter level car. But the cool thing is they might make a bad turn, and all of a sudden, like, if they're only, X% faster than you, but your kind of like navigation and skill set for driving is X plus 1% better, right? Like, you'd be able to beat them, which I don't think the RNG favors anything for like a bronze deck versus a maxed out deck in Splinterlands. Yo, Vilson, what's going on? Spider was on Gala. After I sent you a Discord message about Parallel. Okay, sorry, I will get to that right after this. Hold on, let me see your question. Can I just answer it here? Sorry, man. I've made the commitment. All right, so I've made the commitment today. I shouldn't say today, but this week, hopefully. I'm gonna catch up on all the DMs because I'm like, there's a lot of DMs, and I'm sorry. But I want to just clear everything out. Yeah, I'm not even going to say how many DMs, but I want to clear everything out so it's not red anymore. I have to, is the cost of Parallel still around 30? What are the fees like? Want to start an account, give it to a friend, probably won't bother to play. It's not 30. It's so to get a starter deck, so you have a 40 out of 40 NFTs. It's 0.01 ETH, so that'd be about $36 right now. But you need to have the stuff on base, which, oh shoot, I never responded to your other thing about base. Let me know if you need stuff on base. Sending on base is super cheap. Sending USDC on base is free, which is crazy. But sending, I think ETH and stuff, like the transaction fees are significantly lower than regular ETH. Supreme Victory says, can the Hive blockchain attract new projects? Colony looks like a fail to me. Sorry. That's fair. I don't know. I don't know if it can, but here's the thing. Like, Aggie's building out this. Okay, so you're asking about projects. I think that here's the thing. It can fail to attract new projects while still attracting new players. What do I mean by that? Look at all the people that came in to Splinterlands during the bull run, right? So people will figure their way out onto Hive if it's worthwhile. So what do I mean by that? Going back to your, can it attract new projects? Let's say it cannot. Okay, let's say every other project out there, Aggie goes and talks to them. And they're like, nah, we want to build on Avalanche. We want to build on Solana. We want to build on whatever. All right. Look at the first two games. These are games that Aggie has contracted out to other companies, right? They're not partnerships. They're not games coming here. Aggie's hiring them. But so far, from what we've seen from Mooncarts, it's actually quite fun. I enjoy it. So if a game like that can draw in new players, and those players come in and they put money in because they want to play the game, right? They want to buy and level up their racers, or the casino game comes out and, you know, people enjoy doing that on their Friday night poker, right? Maybe we start doing that here on the channel, right? We were doing like poker nights every once in a while, but if there's an actual thing that we can go and play at, that's part of the Hive ecosystem, like, even better. So if those can be successful in bringing in new players and bringing in new capital, meaning new money, but then we don't ever need a new project to come in. Aggie just keeps hiring more outside studios to continue building. So hope that answers your question. Also, I mean, I know maybe something's lost in translation here or whatever, but like you say, Colony looks like a fail to me. So I think it's very premature to say it's a fail when we haven't seen anything yet, right? So for example, I would be more understanding and probably accepting of that perspective if you said that about GLX, right? A GLS, because GLS has absolutely looked like, I mean, I know that there's some people playing, but it, you know, that game did not do what I think a lot of us were expecting. Whereas right now, we haven't actually seen the launch yet. So I think it's a little premature to call it a fail. If it does launch and there's only 5 people racing, then yeah, we could probably go there. But, you know, it's not going to be the only game. When you buy cards, is it on ETH? Right now, I'm buying everything on base. So guys, check this out. There are so many parallel collections, okay? So let's actually go back here. See, I was looking at the avatars earlier. I need an avatar. Man, you know what's so funny? And people won't like this as well, but I wish Rooney would pump, because I want to sell a Rooney to get one of these, but Rooney's like worth nothing. Okay. So if you go to the, if you go to their Discord, for example, they're going to have a link that goes to this. There you go. Okay, so you can see there's a ton, right? Because even their cosmetics are NFTs, which is really cool. You can win those just from doing the battle pass. So I haven't claimed it yet, but I have like a skin, or a Paragon skin. So if you go, for example, all the way to the bottom, right? They have Parallel Alpha. These are all the cards that are NFTs and available or for sale, right? On here, but this is on the main net. Okay, so you can see there's a bunch of cards here. They're not trading for very high, right? 0.0004 ETH. So for example, like this card is going for $1.58. And keep in mind, you could, like, the max you can have in a deck is 3 cards, and that's only for commons. I think with the higher rarities, well, definitely legendary, you can only have like 1 legendary in a deck. So, okay, that's 1, right? So this is Parallel Alpha. But if you go here, you can also see that there's a Parallel Alpha on base. So there's a bunch of these cards now that you can get on the base layer. So for example, can we find that same card? I know we can, it's somewhere here. There it is, right? So over here, it's actually even cheaper, 0.0001 ETH, right? Plus the gas fees are so much cheaper. So right now, I am only buying stuff on base. Now, the thing is, see, it's only 48 cents here, right? So I'm only buying stuff on base. The problem is the amount of cards on base is significantly less, right? Because everything started on the mainnet. And then, you know, I guess they put out some for base as well at a later time. This is why I'm excited for Planetfall, because I believe Planetfall is launching natively on base. So it'll just be, there'll be way more cards. It'll be much cheaper. So for example, right, if you go all the way down here, let's do this. If we go to rarity and go to like legendaries, for example, I'm actually curious now because I've never looked this up. So as you can see, there are no NFT, there are no legendary cards available for sale, right? None of these have a price. So for example, if I click onto here, the best offer is that, right? There's nothing available. You can't buy anything because nobody's selling their legendary cards on base. If you want this card though, it might be available on the Parallel Alpha. Now there is a third one that I want to show you guys before it's all said and done. And this is because you can see, so Planetfall is already available on here. So you can buy the cards. They're just not playable in game yet. But where's the last one? Parallel Echoes. Here we go. Okay. So Echoes are, they're like clones or copies of cards. They look different. So you can see here, they have like the white base. But what these are, and this is actually something that I really love about the economy for Parallel, or the game economy for Parallel. So what these are essentially digital copies, right? Think of them as like a second edition, or well, they already have a second edition, but think of them as like a third edition. Like they're just called Echoes, right? They're still considered NFTs and you can still earn with them in game. Nothing is better than the other. There's no like boosts or bonuses. But what they did is basically they gave the ability to mint new cards of stuff that's already out, right? So for example, Parallel is already sold out, whatever. Or sorry, Alpha is already sold out. They gave that to the players, which I think is really cool because now, right, the card supply expands only based on demand. It's not like, they put out 10 million packs and then they burn some of them every day. They put out a small set, whatever it is, and the Planetfall expansion, and it's just an expansion, right? Sold in October. So you can get your NFT packs there. When you play with the cards gain something called renown, which you can consider just like XP points or something. So the cards gain renown. When you play enough games with them, you will be eligible to make Echo versions of them, right? So for example, I'm able to go and make Echo versions of some of the cards that I own already, I've been playing less than a week, right? I started Wednesday last week. So I'm already able to make Echo versions. The thing is, if I go and look on here and be like, okay, how much would it cost me to like make an Echo version? It's selling for less. And the best part about all this is that in order for me to make an Echo version, I need to sync Prime. You don't burn it, you sync it, meaning that you send it to, it's like the DAO, right? The DAO then redistributes it based on like, there's 4 different things that it redistributes. A big portion of it, like 80% goes back into the play to earn pool. So what ends up happening is if you get more players coming in, demand goes up for the cards. And then if the demand goes up high enough, then someone like me will look at it and be like, oh, it's actually worth it for me to make an Echo. Let me sync Prime into the ecosystem, right? So that Prime goes out of circulation. I get to make a copy of the card and then sell that probably, most likely for higher than what I just paid to mint it, right? So we're locking up Prime. Somebody gets a card based on whatever the price is, and it just becomes a circular kind of like circular economy, which again, I'm really impressed with. So yeah, that's just where it's at. Hopefully that was helpful. So those are the 3 areas I would go look right now: Alpha, Echoes, and then on base. And then for example, so I'm doing the battle pass right now. I made a video about this last night, but I'm doing the battle pass right now. I will not have enough time because there's only 5 days left. I will not have enough time to complete everything just because of the way that, the XP or like your different daily missions, they take 24 hours to reset. So I just won't get enough XP to finish the entire thing. But if I pay for the levels, right? So far with how far I've gone, if I pay for the levels, I'd be paying roughly maybe 50, 60 bucks to get the battle pass, unlock the premium thing for the battle pass, and then paying for the remaining levels, of which I would get 5 different NFTs, right? So I think 2 or 3 skins, a card back, and then as well as a card frame. And then on top of that, I would also get this legendary guy here, Gosan Viper of Series. And he's trading for $87 right now. So to me, it's actually a no-brainer, right? Because I'm going to go in, I'm going to try and knock out as much as I can, get that cost down, and then pay for the remaining levels, And then I'm going to have a card here that's sitting and worth $87, of which no more will ever be printed, right? Because it's just for the current battle pass. And then once April rolls around, they'll have a new card there that'll be part of the battle pass, and I'm planning to go super heavy onto that. But if you didn't, let's say you didn't buy levels. I mean, the battle pass is like, I mean, depending on how many glints you buy at a time, it's less than $20, maybe even less than $15. At which point you get not just this, but you get all of the other cool like skins and stuff. Which again, if you go here to the collections page, like parallel cosmetics, so you could go sell all that stuff. Because keep in mind, all these skins and stuff, they're all like they shouldn't ever really come back into the mix, right? So like the different emotes, the different skins, all this stuff. By doing the battle pass, you're just collecting all of these NFTs that have like actual financial or monetary value if you want to sell them. But again, it's like that's all that there will ever be. Now, they don't add value in the game outside of just being a cool skin or a card back or like a card frame like this. But I mean, you can see how much people are selling this stuff for. So looks like somebody just bought this, right? This last sale was 1.5 prime for this shroud thing. I mean, 1.5 prime, again, I don't know when it was purchased, but that 1.5 prime is $30, right? And somebody probably got that from playing just the battle pass as one of their prizes. All right, let me close out of some of these because I think that's slowing me down a little bit. All right, sorry for the aside. Hopefully that is helpful for you though, Vilson. Okay, Simran, what are the uses for Colony right now? It's Moonbase stuff being bought with script. Yeah, correct. But there's still too much script out there. Script is trading below, I think it's marked. Yeah, script is 64% of its thing. So there's just too much script out there still. But we'll see what happens. Here's the thing, right? This is one of the other risks of Colony. So please, guys, don't go ape into Colony, because if they don't create enough syncs, then nothing ever happens, right? So Vilson, because I wanted to do what you did and invest like $50 and give it to a friend to play. All right, go for it. If you have any other questions, let me know. I will jump into the DMs later. Guten Tag, International Travel Channel. What's going on? I have 0.028 ETH on the ETH chain in MetaMask. I'll have to do research to figure out how to get on base. It should be relatively easy. Just if you Google it, there's probably several bridges that you can transfer it over. All right, it's the same team. I have a lot of issues with moon carts. Looks like PNS is a success. Sacrificed 5,000 SPS. The airdrop me 20k SPS worth. If I swap now, well done, PNS team. Wow, very cool. Well, but hold on. Is this... Hold on, let me see here. I don't even know how much I sacrificed. But SPS also came down in price. I think I did 2,000 SPS. So 2,000 SPS times 0.02. Yeah, it's $40. So I mean, I have like roughly the amount that I put into it. The problem is if I sell now. Oh, if I sell, I still get $54 out of it. That's cool. 53.81. How is that possible? How can the price impact be so high? Are people buying it though? If you want to buy like $100 worth of, be it 20%. My hope is that we just see a ton of PNS get burned. We see a ton get burned over time just from people transacting in the thing, and it just goes up in value. But let's see. Let's see in my wildest dreams, if this did 100x, 50 times 100 is what, 5,000? Okay, so I can turn $50 into 5K. I don't think that they'll do 100x, but you never know. There's supposed to be a PNS website too, right? I hope there's one that's like tracking current supply and all that, because I love the fact that like the entire supply is just out there now. None of this like emission schedule. We just keep doing stuff. Every time it's traded, we burn some. We lock up some SPS. All that good stuff. All right, let me get back to the chat here, and then I'm actually going to need to wrap up very shortly, okay? So let's do this. All right, why did you sell Almiel? All right, Planetfall is a different game. No, it's just card expansion. So it's their first expansion. You know, the alpha set, and then this expansion is going to come out, and I'm assuming it's just going to be like a wild format where all cards are available. Cards gaining XP is super cool. I know. I really would love that in Splinterlands. I think they're doing that with GLG, but I don't know. Not talking about Splinterlands. Man, Alex, you must have been dead. Where have you been? I haven't seen you in a minute. A Kang Kai combo whooping that tail. Nice. Not USDT. All right. So yesterday, the Hive Engine swap ate my SPS once again. They do refund it, but what are you using to trade SPS for DEC? I'd like to find a more reliable way to trade SPS for DEC. Well, you could burn it, but obviously that's not economically efficient. I use the swaps. I use B swap mainly now because Hive Engine and Tribal decks are just awful. Sorry. It's just, I don't know. I just don't like them anymore. I mean, I still use Hive Engine, don't get me wrong, just to be able to see everything in a nice format, but unless I have to do a transaction on Hive Engine or Tribal decks, I go to B swap now. I'm only selling cards, buying Colony, Heavy, also SPS and PNS. I'm still kicking. All right, I'm glad to hear that, Alex. Hope you're doing well. All right, guys, I'm going to hop off. Hopefully, I don't even know if there was a maintenance today, but hopefully we continue to see some positive things happening in the market. Damn it. We're down below 70K again. It's all good, though. Halving is in less than 25 days. Let me see. I got my little tracker here. Bitcoin halving in. Oh, it must have slowed down. We're in 28 days. April 23rd at 1701 UTC. Very fun. All right, guys. Have an amazing rest of your week. I've started streaming parallel more consistently on Twitch. So if you want to see me over there, it's just This Is Aftersound is the username. I'll try to keep that separate than streaming here because, well, I'm trying to build out Twitch too. Also, they're giving away rewards to streamers on Twitch. So I'd rather be over there for any parallel stuff. But that's all I got. Have an amazing rest of your day. I will try to catch you here roughly around the same time on Thursday unless something comes up. But good times ahead. No town hall this week, but there is a down hall on Friday, and then hopefully the launch of the upcoming reward rework in a week. Very exciting stuff. All right, guys. Peace.